Alright. Hello and welcome back to Oni Land. We'll be over and back on our JP account in a minute. I'm just gonna spend a bit of AP here since this is our main account and we really want to get as much of this gold currency as we possibly can. Now some of you might be thinking, oh, aren't you Ethereal, aren't you on vacation because you got guests coming over, staying the night for a couple days? And the answer to that is yes, but they aren't here yet. A more mature person might have spent the last 3-4 hours before they arrive, after being given the time of their arrival, and prepared or obsessively cleaned their apartment, or done basically anything other than sit over here and play Grand Order. But I am not that person. I'm here to play video games and have fun, and frankly, cleaning and preparing for guests is not on the list of things I consider exceptionally fun. I also did most of that yesterday after stream. So we're currently just waiting for... Where the hell did they all go? You might have noticed my AP bar isn't completely full, because this morning I had to spend a little bit of it to make sure we weren't capping out too long, but there were lots of people with the MLB events, Gold Event CE. I don't know what happened to them all. Oh, the event thing isn't working anymore. That's weird. There's nobody in... Oh, it's mix I was missing. I was clicking the wrong one, I guess. I was clicking extra class, my bad. Anyway, distracted by my conversation about how awesome it is that I am playing by some miracle. This will be a short stream. We're not going to be going more than a couple hours, I don't think. As I would rather not have the stream still going when I have to let people in. Or start ordering food for them. There we go. Gold sea. But anyway, I'm glad to be playing even for this short period of time where we're just blasting through some of our AP. If we're going to be playing our JP account more, I'd rather get it at least a little bit stable before we don't have the opportunity to do so again. If we can get the account to a place where we can reasonably progress without being completely blocked in progression by random stuff like the lack of horseshoes, then we can start playing it, going through the story, having a good time. I mean, I'll probably be skipping the actual story content because A, I've already played most of the story on JP, and B, I mean, the parts that we haven't played I can't read most of, so no point reading something you can't actually understand, right? It's like, you know, at least with English, I feel like you could make a guess as to what they're saying. But with Japanese, it's like, if you don't know exactly what the kanji means, you're never going to understand what they're saying, because every symbol has its own unique non-unique pronunciation that you basically have to guess, and then it has its own meaning, and they can usually have like... They usually have at least 2 ways of pronouncing every single kanji, if not 3 ways. So you can't just sit down and be like, it's probably this, you know. I can kind of... If I don't know how hippogriff is pronounced, I can mispronounce it, but I'll at least read it right. Or understand what, you know, I'll have an idea of what the word means if I've heard it somewhere but not read it somewhere. In Japanese, you need to read. You need to know how to read, and you know how to say everything, or you have no clue what anything means. Very difficult in that context. Like, I know a tiny bit of German, and if you know a couple things in German, you can kind of like extrapolate what another word means, or at least get the context, or you know, at the very least, even an English someone who only speaks English can probably bullshit their way into reading a little bit of German because you know what most of the characters mean already. It is not the case with Japanese. You have no clue what any of that stuff reads as unless you absolutely know it. I guess that's one of the reasons why it's one of the more difficult languages to learn, because you can't just sound things out in Japanese. You have to actually know what everything means before you read the paragraph. Like, I have no clue how you're supposed to do like a fantasy novel or something without a pronunciation guide. I assume they have like, I don't know, like if you read like Lord of the Rings in Japanese, I assume they have like a glossary or something at the start. Because they're like gonna have a whole bunch of imaginary kanji that nobody's ever heard of before. Or words that mean nothing and you don't know how to pronounce them. Or they just use your katakana for a lot of things like they do in JP servers for like most names and stuff. One of those two. Either way, I wouldn't know until I actually read the book. Interesting challenge. Oh well. At least this is a clean farming node. Solid 4 turns. Sometimes 5 if things go badly. But it's typically not a disaster in that way. I feel like it was a little bit loud. Might have just been my ears. Yeah, it might have been just my ears. That's annoying. I guess this will be an extra turn. No one other than Astolfo in that hand had the cards to do 20,000 damage. And like, we needed to do like, just Astolfo's quick, I think it's only like 90% of that gets health. Kind of awkward. Anyway, we don't care what we do as long as we kill that guy, so we'll do an efficient card selection that just makes Astolfo attack once, as you just saw there. I don't think we actually need monstrous strength, but I also don't think we don't need it, so... I should say, we probably don't need it, but there's no reason not to click it, because we definitely won't need it next turn. So that's the reasoning behind using it. 300k, it gives us like 30-ish% attack, so probably not needed. Alright, Hokusai, do your thing. Erase this gal. Your evil mirror. Or should I say also good mirror, because neither of us is tentacle themed right now. In case you're wondering, this is like Hokusai's first or second. I think this is our first ascension. The one that's not all tentacle themed. It's the third ascension that is all about them tentacles. They changed the NP voice lines and the background of her NP. And several of her animations changed. Like when she does her arts card, if she's doing it in a combo, she actually flies instead of like running along the ground. It's kind of nice. Although a lot of the other animations are very, very similar. There we go. My man Ghost out. I swear, the guy completely disappears sometimes. I think he like just plays either on completely opposite times to me a lot of the time, or he only plays like once a day. I'm not sure which one, but he's definitely on all the time. Because I usually only like remove people if they haven't been on my they haven't been online in like a monthish. And he's definitely been on all the time. Well, that was just a bad hand for killing these guys. I think this will kill him. We'll find out. Okay, we didn't even need the crits. We also didn't need the crits there, as the last one was 35k. Although Astolfo has a big crit multiplier now, so maybe we did. Okay, we're a turn down. We're 5% AP missing. 5% AP down. We don't want to use this because Astolfo doesn't do 300k to, unfortunately at least, Astolfo doesn't do a 300k to a foreigner, which is what Hokusai does, so we actually have to wait a turn on this. So we'll just face card down that guy real quick. Astolfo erases people with crits. I don't know if Astolfo is usually this good for everyone, but my Astolfo seems to do nothing but crit. Like, he's a fucking crit machine, it's gross. Like, even though Okita generates more crit stars most of the time, naturally, and has, like, similar crit absorbs most of the time, she can just give herself absorb. I swear, my Astolfo is like, it's like, if you see a 10% critical chance, he'll probably critical anyway. Like, he just doesn't care. He's like, oh yeah, you wanted a crit? Here's a crit. You didn't want a crit? Here's 2. Of course, if you desperately need a crit, he's not going to crit. Also, I don't know why we did that waiver thing, when we know for a fact we do not need waiver crit. We do not need waiver's charisma. I was just like playing automatically, kind of thinking of when we started farming this node, before we had our full multiplier. We actually needed waivers and were intentionally stalling on the second turn, or on the second last turn, so that we could get waivers cooldown up. Alright, I think this is all our AP for today, so we're going to jump onto JP now. Perfect. We actually spent like the exact number of AP to go to 0. I'll be back in like 2 seconds. Does not take me very long to swap over to JP. So I'll be back in like less than 30 seconds. In case you thought I was joking, here we are, back again. Alright. I don't think they'll have a big patch, because we're still in the middle of an event on JP, so it's not gonna. I'll play longer than the, like, what was it, 15 minutes I played on the NA server. I was just clearing out my AP for that. Here I actually have to do some lottery farming. And materials farming, of course. This account is pretty fresh. Makes a lot of the nodes really awkward, but we need a lot of the materials. I remember. We were leveling up so fast, I just decided to stop when we were low on AP, because I knew if I did another, like, finish the node, I'd level up and be, like, massively overcapped on AP again. I remember how this goes. Still fun. Alright. Yeah, we're just farming the second. It's the Saber node right near the end. Which is probably the easiest node to farm for any new accounts on JP, as the welfare is a Nightingale Archer, and she does a crazy amount of damage because she has plus 100% damage for the whole event. So like even this 45, because again, this is like, for first time clears, we have to do everything with 3 stars on this account. But I mean, with double XP, putting enough XP into this Archer to put her to level 45 when we don't really need to invest Ascension materials is insanely efficient for this event. We're usually getting like 5-6 turns on this. This is like the only node we just face card clear things with. Alright, we don't actually need the damage. The Mark and minus Lavens is there for when we want to produce an arts combo and are a 1 card short, not actually for damage. At least not most of the time. I think she fails to kill that. There we go. The only difficulty with this is the event doesn't give us a ton of... We're borrowing Servants with Drop Rate in the event. Doesn't give us enough starting gauge because we don't have a waiver on this account. We kind of need our main DPS, so... that might actually kill him doing a full combo. Alright. We'll do it anyway because we want to make sure we actually have... So. Oh, we're definitely done here. So next 2 rounds we'll clear this. Why not? I mean, we're not actually Japanese. Well, you may as well play on their Christmas event. Not like I need to spend a ton of AP on the real one. On the current NA event, right? What, you don't like the... It's like, Stream's still tagged as English, so I don't think anyone who's not looking for English will look there. Cannonball. Oh, I should have. I like all the curvy symbols in Korean. All the round characters. Still find it so funny that the Japanese Christmas event is already happening. It's like literally Halloween, yeah, last night, and the Christmas event is already like 3/4 of the way done. Makes me very curious what they're planning to do for events in the next couple months on the JP server, because like, if they're already doing Christmas now, are they doing like 3 Christmas events? I was like, what are they doing for events next month? Probably another Christmas event, right? And then what's after next month? Then there's actually the month where Christmas is in. Like another 3 weeks before Christmas. So are they gonna do yet another Christmas event? Like how many Christmas events are we getting on JP? Maybe we'll get like 2 new events? I don't know what reruns they're actually expecting, because I know what we're expecting in NA, but I didn't actually count what they're doing for JP. Yeah, I don't know if that Earth combo is actually worth it. Now we just need 40% for our support person. We'll be there in a bit. Okay, so we're not going to be there in a bit because we're not getting any support cards. Any support guys this round. Alright, I guess we're just going to erase these guys the old-fashioned way. Because we don't need anything, well... We'll save that for if we want to do an arts combo later. I guess we're just erasing this guy. Although our character's only like 45, so she's probably not going to kill him, but like, we didn't need to do any of this damage. We're just trying to get NP for the support archer. Like this, exactly. Again, an NP from our level 45, NP 5 Nightingale will kill this whole wave. We just need the level 80 to be NPing on the third wave. I think we don't need this buff for her. Anyone else find it like really cool how fast they accelerated things on JP? It's actually like insane how quickly you can farm stuff even if you're being inefficient. Like I almost don't even care if I pick a Brave Chain or a Quick Chain or something by accident, because the actual like time delay is so short. Like look how fast that animation is. How many of these do we have? We have like 800 and 500. We're pretty close to wanting to. I think at around 1,000 pillows we need to stop. We'll have to swap over, because we still need a bunch of gauze. I just believe the bronze node is like gauze needles, which I guess we kind of need, but needles aren't our priority. Amusingly enough, we actually need like most of the monuments and stuff, which is why we're farming materials here so hard. This account, like before this event, had literally 0 monuments on it. It'd be good for new events to keep a lot of stories in mind. Yeah, we have a lot of opportunity for new events in on JP right now. They don't have anything crazy go. They don't have like we don't know what's coming up. There's so much time. It might have been they might have been delayed on like new event development by coronavirus. I don't actually know how much they were slowed by that, but from my perspective, there's like 2 whole months that we're maybe seeing 1 Christmas rerun in. Like, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do in December? They don't have. They're probably doing some non-Christmas events in the meantime, but it's still weird. 1 card with Nightingale. We're intentionally stalling this turn. Because we're pretty low on NP right now, and our cards are not lining up great for us. Okay. Well, all that overkill is pretty good for this one. We still need like an Arts combo or something this turn. Not quite what we're looking for. I did the quick cards. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. We're getting the Lost Belt 3 and NA next month, right? So, and it's been a similar amount of time since the new Lost Belt on the Japanese servers, so they're probably getting one next month. That's a good thought. I'm not up to date on theories of what the new content is for JP, especially events or release-wise. Okay. Well, this is like an easy... This is an easy stall thing. Windows updates classic. System sounds are muted, but Windows updates always somehow manages to pull through. Yeah, I should actually... When the event's over, I'm probably going to start playing a whole bunch on this account, trying to push myself further in the story, because I'd like to see some of the content I haven't seen before. Like, you know, I've played through Lost Belts 1 and 2, but I haven't seen 5? I haven't played 4 at all, or seen much of it. I've seen a bunch from 5, and if they're getting a new Lost Belt, that's gonna be fucking cool. I'm really excited to push further on this account. Like, exciting to see the new content, at least the new mechanics, even if I can't understand what's going on in the story, because my Japanese is pretty terrible. I mean, I'm also working on the Japanese, right? So eventually I'll be able to read the story, but it won't be for a few years. Or that's what it feels like. Streaming playing games actually takes a lot of time. Because I could be studying Japanese now, but instead I'm playing games. I don't know. I'm more interested in the games than studying, as long as I can just do a bit of both. We'll get there eventually. Yeah, that new story release time makes sense. So they probably wouldn't release an event within two weeks of a new story release. That wouldn't make a lot of sense because it'd pull people away from the story. Which I feel the story is like the main driving force behind this game, so I guess they wouldn't do that. I mean, they haven't really done that in NA, but I don't know what the timing is on. Oh, beautiful. Look at that amazing arts combo. Alright. Beautiful arts combo. Alright. Rocking. Every time I see that, that little detail where Hans looks at the screen and you, it's like a cat, you know? The cat knows you don't want to have like your water bottle or your cup of coffee knocked on the floor, and it just makes eye contact with you, you know, asserting dominance, making sure you know that it's doing that just before it pisses you off and spills your drink on the ground. My friend had a cat that did that all the time. Oh, really? They're in sync? That's cool. It's kind of nice being on the NA server with your main account because you can kind of like see what's coming up in the next couple months. Sometimes they misorder events, but yeah, I can imagine that. Like, you don't even know what's coming up in the next Lost Belt because no one's there to spoil that for you. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to actually having progressed through the story, but I can't read the story except for bad translations yet when it comes out, so I still have to wait a couple years to figure out what's going on. That's got to be exciting. The new Lost Belt's Camelot themed, right? Like I think that's what I heard, that it was Camelot themed, right? No, we didn't need to throw these briefcases at this guy. Whatever. I guess now we'll check that we can actually do this damage. Four accounts! Dude, you're crazy. 4 accounts? You serious? That's insane. I mean, I don't really even maintain this account for the most part. I'm just playing it more because I'm streaming and I want to stream for more than like 30 minutes at a time. 4 accounts, yeah, 4 accounts is that's a lot of AP to spend. A lot of time to be playing all the time. You're one crazy guy, Hannibal. 4 accounts. I didn't even want to. Like, how long is a quick chain ad? Like, half the time it adds on NA. That's so cool. Are all the accounts, like, caught up on the story, too? Oh, hey, how's it going, Mona? Evening. Must be late in the day wherever you are. Like, early afternoon where I'm at. A nice time to be playing. This won't be the longest stream. I have guests coming over later this afternoon around dinner time, but I got a couple hours. I kind of want to clear out this lottery in the event I can't play much tomorrow. So 4 accounts. Oh, you have 4 accounts. Oh my god, that must be. I just. It's like 1:34. It's like 1:30 p.m. for me right now. Well, I guess we're gonna do this Arts combo because. If you're a bit of a night owl, or are you just trying to keep up on 4 accounts, all doing lottery events at the same time? Oh my god! I just realized that if you're both at the same progression, that means you have the lottery events at the same time. So you're like trying to do 4 lottery events in 2 weeks. Like, I know some NA streamers, and they found it brutal when they had like a week of overlap with like the Skaha event and Gilfest. But like maintaining 4 accounts during this Christmas lottery, or like any lottery, that's a ton of farming, man. I can respect that dedication, if nothing else. That's a lot of work. There's like keeping up in farming for lottery events is a lot of work. Like, I started this pretty late, because I just started on this account farming this event like 2 days ago. Gonna be a lot of work. Alright. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, Oniland isn't that crazy. I'm just about done everything I wanted for Oniland. There's a few more materials I could farm, but I'm not really in the mood to do so. Like, I don't really need the monuments, so I'm not farming for them on my NA account. Like, this account needs everything, because it's very, very new and very low power. But once you have, like, once you've done a few events and gotten all the monuments you'll ever need, it's not so bad to farm events. Okay. Yeah, it seems I misunderstood you at the start. Alright. Oniland. 2 to 4 accounts on Oniland isn't so bad. Especially if you, like, bought into it. How do you like Sitnai? I'm a big fan of Sitnai. I wasn't hugely into her and wasn't even planning on rolling for her when I saw that she was announced. We need to do one more run of this. But after playing through the Oniland event, I actually found I really liked Sitnai a lot more than I liked her in Lost Belt 2. I didn't really get a good feel for her there, and I wasn't sure if she was gonna be more like Prisma Ilya or more like Ilya from Stay Night. But since she's really showing herself as like the more mature and sensible version of an Ilya demi-servant, I'm kind of glad we got her. Oh, this one first. I actually ended up spending. Just spent a few tickets. I didn't do anything crazy looking for Ilya, but that was more than I was planning on spending. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like if you're just ending Oniland, then you're like about where NA is, so we're having the same crisis. It's like, do I save up for Scotty? Or do I just wait another year and a bit for Caster Artoria? Because they're both like crazy powerful, right? Like, that's a hard decision to make. Caster Artoria or Scotty. At least you kind of have a choice though, right? You can go for the short-term investment of waiting for the next Scotty banner. Relatively short-term, it's like a year. Or you can go a year and a half for Caster Artoria. Caster Artoria is probably better too, right? To add an extra layer to. God damn it, turn 4 is not working in my favor. Whatever. I think we're just gonna shoot anyway. We're not gonna try and kill though. We're not gonna use this because we're not gonna use her third skill because we're not actually trying to kill this turn. We're just gonna waste this and do something. Like, in theory, this would go okay. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, Caster Artoria is completely bonkers. I was actually looking at... Who was I looking at earlier? I was looking at Musashi Berserker. That third skill of hers is crazy. Like the NP gain, the arts up. She's good. She's like almost as good as Lancelot is for Scotty system, right? Oh, come on. I just need a little bit of NP. You gotta work with me, cards here. Come on. Yeah, she is basically required. Yes. Artoria is so disgusting. I actually got a copy of Artoria on this account, amusingly enough. That's around when I started playing this account. I was like, oh, Caster Artoria, that's cool. I'll roll for her. Got her and a bunch of other stuff. I mean, but this is my account where I have to clear every node with 3 stars first, so kind of hard to use her. But I have a copy for when I'm caught up on story and can start farming with her. Alright, well. Whatever. Caster Artoria is pretty creative. I think the guts only gives 10%, so I think we can skip it here. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If that's a level 1 guts skill, it gives NP strength up, but I think it's only around 10%. So we should be able to skip it, as it's only adding like 12% of our damage. And we've already dealt damage to her. There we go. I was originally planning on doing everything with 3 stars, but I don't really see a reason not to borrow people's 4 or 5 stars or use your own if it's like way more efficient for farming. Like if you can clear something with 3 stars anyway, if you're doing it with 4 stars, you're just saving yourself some time. Let's see what we got. And they'll probably be better once we actually clear them out. I just need to check where we're at on these pillows. I don't remember how many we actually need. I don't need any of that. What I need is... Okay, we need... We actually need all of these, that's annoying. I need all of these. I'm gonna need all of these. And... we may as well get most of these. I'm gonna say most servants probably don't need more than 10 of those. So we actually need like 400, 700, 1,000 if we want all those. Okay. 600. That should be all these. That should be all of those, and I didn't think there was. I think we're gonna get all these next. So 400 left on that. That's fine. We still have more gold to do. I was thinking we were actually a lot further along in the shop farm, but it seems we're not. Oh, it's so painful spending gold apples on this. Lottery, please give me some bronze apples. Don't you hate when you're on like a new account and gold apples are worth so little, so it just feels bad spending them? Like you're only getting like 80 or 90 AP out of gold apples. Like I'm doing the lotteries early because I want to get bronze apples so that I'm not wasting the gold apples when I can actually spend them. Yeah, Caster Artoria is Very strong cast for it. Give me them bronze apples. I don't want to spend my gold apples. Rolling lottery for bronze apples feels really weird. There's still 2 left. Still 2 of these left, alright. We got through this. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of gameplay. We're gonna get there eventually, but I'm looking forward to when I eventually have most of my 3-star levels leveled and can start playing games with Caster Artoria, because I actually rolled one for this account. I wasn't expecting to actually get her, but yeah, you're kind of just like, oh, I didn't have, you know, you get bored during a dead week, you make a new account. at this point, you're just like, I don't want to lose them. Yeah, I can see how that is. I can see how that happens. I've done that before with stuff. Like, I used to do that in World of Warcraft, you know. Oh, I finished everything I want to do on this character. I'll roll a new character and level him to max level. And then before you know it, halfway through the expansion, you have like 5 max level characters that you have to do dailies on every single day. And then you have like 5 characters you have to do raids on, so you're like pugging and finding groups all the time. Like, how did it come to this? I was bored and looking for more stuff to do, and that's why I picked these guys up. As long as you're having fun, it's all good though. Like, the most important thing in a game is to be playing it for fun. So as long as you're enjoying, keep maintaining the 4 accounts, keep going. The minute it stops being fun though, I wouldn't recommend doing it. It's like, that's what I'm finding as I get a little bit more experience in life. As sometimes you can find yourself in those situations where you've given yourself a ton of perceived responsibility, but you don't really enjoy it. So, as long as you're having fun on those 4 accounts and still enjoying your time, keep doing it, but never play a game because you feel obligated to do so. Like I actually started this account several months ago, but I wasn't playing it all the time because I was just playing for myself, and I didn't actually want to play Grand Order like 6 hours a day. That wasn't part of my plan. But these days that's more my style, so I'm doing it. Oh, let's do this. Wait, what is this doing to me then? I thought that was a block of some buff block, but it didn't stop that buff going through. It's very easy, I find, to get too many things to do to the point where you can't do stuff you actually want to do because you're like under the weight of personal obligations. Like I used to be doing World of Warcraft Warhammer 40k or 40,000, Magic the Gathering, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was like I had no free time for myself. So I was constantly just trying to keep up with my friends who were invested in only maybe one or two of those games. It started not being fun. So even though I actually like everything, I actually like all four of those things, I haven't actually played any Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! In the longest time because I simply don't have the time, and I like being able to decide where I want to invest my time. But I also know that Koreans have like some of the best esports players in general, which means they probably have the most dedicated people to games. Because like I can understand how much work it actually takes to be like the best StarCraft player. Like it's a shit ton of work. So if Korea is consistently putting out the best at that, when it's a video game, there's no reason anyone else couldn't be better. Means you gotta have some dedicated people who are really invested in it. So if you're invested in this, go for it. You probably have more experience than me. Hans needs a level up. If nothing else about Hans' animation update, I really like that glance he takes at you before he does his arts card. It gets me every time. I was laughing my ass off about it earlier. Like, yesterday I think was the first day I noticed that, and I was... Every time he did it for like the next 10 rounds, I was laughing. Still gets me. Oh, we need that NP so bad. We're intentionally stalling, we're still not getting it. I think this will do it for getting us a little bit of NP, but it's not the best. Not having Waver feels bad, man. Yeah, Waver would definitely be good. Right here. Replace Hans with Waver, and this whole run would be way smoother. 30%. I don't think that's happening. That's annoying. Alright. This will be a slow clear button. I don't know why I clicked that, that was the wrong button. The absence of Santa Quetzalcoatl? I haven't thought too long about it. It is kind of weird that we didn't get a rerun though, you're right. As I recall, there was only ever one run of the event. Are people thinking we're getting a rerun of Quetzalcoatl's event this year? As there's only one, right? It's coming up in NA, but we're not getting a second one. So it's possible they used it as filler here, right? And that's a good thought. I hadn't thought about that. In the event they're behind on development schedule, they still have that event to do a rerun with. I just thought they wouldn't be doing another one because it's been like a couple years. They usually do like the rerun the next year, right? But it's possible they were thinking ahead. Or just trying to change up the schedule so people couldn't predict it as easily. Because it's pretty hard to predict that schedule. If they start doing stuff like that. You're thinking Quetzalcoatl's event, the new Lost Belt, and maybe a new Christmas event. So we're getting 3 Christmas events this year in JP. That sounds reasonable. They pushed this one further ahead because they have a lot of events planned. Like if they have another lottery in December, Quetz's event's also a lottery, isn't it? A Quetzalcoatl event lottery, I think. It's gonna be a lot of lotteries. It's gonna be a lot of lotteries back to back. Because you guys had Skaha Fest, and then you had this event, the Nightingale event, and then you might have Quetzalcoatl's, and then the next Christmas event, which also might be a lottery. Yeah, it maybe, right? We don't know for certain. But you gotta ask. But you're right. You do have to ask yourself why in the world they would skip that event, right? Because there should be a rerun of it. There's like a rerun for every other event. Well, basically every other event. I think we skipped something. I'm sure we skipped something. God. Those quick crits are bananas for AP gain. Reminds me of Okita. Sochi. I like getting to use Hans as NP as a replacement arts card where you don't get any damage dealt, so you can still put people's arts cards later in the sequence. Very handy, and holy shit, that NP game. Alright. Yeah, we actually got the attack up off on her. That's good. Let's see. This one. Maybe. But they did push this event super early. Like, why would you run a Christmas event before Halloween? That's so weird, especially in this game where we have like multiple Halloween events. It's like we celebrate it like a holiday in game. Like they have to be doing something around Christmas time if they're gonna be pushing Halloween reruns all the way back to October. It's really weird to be doing this, like Christmas in October. Oh, quick chain. Alright, whatever. I really like Nightingale's animations. They did a really good job with her. Like, her kit's insanely strong. Like, Nightingale has a really strong kit. She has some really good animations. Like, I love the belt-fed machine gun. I love the sound effects. It sounds like it's hitting a lot. It hits a lot. The animations look good. She feels like a really clean servant. I mean, her skills are like are kind of overloaded, but I feel like that's a trend for most new servants on JP. To have like really, really loaded skill sets. To the point where you're just like, oh, this guy's skill does like 5 different things. That's insane. Again? What time is it? It's 2 o'clock. Oh, it's probably reset. Reset? Question mark? Bingo. Question. Reset. Keep forgetting what time it is in Japan. Although, I think a 3 a.m. reset's kind of weird. Whatever works. I wasn't counting my apples. Did it actually eat one of my apples there? Yeah, JP is... It's 3 a.m. in Japan right now? I think it's 3 a.m. But you asked that earlier. It's 3:30 in Korea. Oh, so it might be a 4 a.m. reset. Feels very different. The reset for me is like 1 a.m. Like, it's not super late in the evening for me. I'm usually still awake when reset happens. So having reset be at that time in JP, because just feels a little bit weird. Alright. You ever wonder if they actually use foreign download and play statistics to determine what they're doing in the game? Or like what they're doing with external servers? Like, does your playing in Korea influence them to think about Korean viewers or players any more than normal? A ridiculous NP gain. We got so much NP from like a single quick crit. Depending on RNG, we probably could have filled up right there. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Might as well target this guy. Like, what are they doing? If they're getting another lost belt, they're doing something else for the last half of November, possibly an event, and then another event in December. It's gonna be cool. Although I don't have too much progression on this account. This account's in Septum, so it's on like the second singularity. We're actually quite fortunate that we can actually do this lottery at all. As if we couldn't do this lottery, we'd be in a bit of a pickle when it comes to getting materials. We still need horseshoes desperately on this account. I was actually tempted to run one of the nodes that drops horseshoes just for the sole purpose of acquiring more horseshoes. As like, Lu Bu and Ushiwakamaru both require horseshoes to ascend and skill up. And this lottery is not providing a lot of them. It's so nice how fast these animations are playing at. This is like twice as fast as it's farming in NA. It's so nice. It'd be cool if we got Santa Quetzalcoatl this year, though. That would be like particularly useful for. Oh, sweet, we got one bronze. Perfect. Spending all those bronze apples. This account's not high level, so bronze apples absolutely should be spent first in every case, as they're the only ones that give fixed amounts of AP. Okay, that second Han's art animation really bothers me. It looks like it should hit like 2-3 times, and then it still only hits once. Is it possible they were considering adding a higher hit count to Hans, and then like change their mind at some point? Because it really feels like, when it dips back through the enemy, that it should have hit a second time at least, possibly 3 times. It looks like they kind of changed their mind halfway through designing the animation, and we're like, actually, we're still gonna have it hit once. Just the arts card. %, or 14%. We're pretty close. I think we could get that with like an arts card. If we had like 2 arts cards. I'm not super confident in that. This is why we want a waiver. Okay. This and this, I don't think that's 14%. I'm actually gonna do this. We'd need to actually crit, I think. Yeah, we would have needed to crit on the 10%. And Nightingale doesn't seem to have as much luck as my Astolfo does when it comes to critting. I mean, Nightingale's good, but my Astolfo just randomly crits like if you have a 10%, he's gonna crit like 100% of the time. It's crazy. Astolfo's so good. That's just my luck with Astolfo. He seems to like me. I managed to get him NP2 before anybody else, even though he wasn't on rate up either of the times I rolled for him. I rolled and got him. And he's been like my best farmer for the longest time. Although, I feel like he's going to be unseated by Nido Chris, because I just about finished leveling her up on NA. And Nido Chris is no joke. Kind of nice seeing new faces in the chat. I enjoy conversing with the same people over and over, but seeing new people makes you feel like you're progressing a little bit as a streamer. Another level? What do we need? Like 1,000? We're gonna be here a while. Probably not gonna finish this stream since I have about... I'm gonna play another hour-ish. I like that in JP they added the countdown timer, so you can tell when you're getting your refresh. In NA, we're still stuck clicking until it tells us we can reload it. That timer really helps. I mean, all they did was just add a visibility function for what was clearly an internal timer. But simple things like that are really appreciated sometimes. I really appreciate things like that, because it helps me, right? Better than being like, okay, if I do this weird ritual, it should be cooled down enough then. Like, for a while, I'd look at another class and check, like, scroll through that class and back up, and that was how I determined that it had been about long enough to use a refresh. I mean, I know they haven't changed any like massive core things about this game, but the little improvements really help as they do them over time. I feel like for the most part they don't make any bad improvements to the game. Yeah, I think she doesn't kill, yeah. She'd have to crit and I think she would still win. Ooh. He's still alive, alright. He's still alive, that's annoying. And these aren't from the same servant. That's annoying. It might have been a better idea to use our actual servant who's going to be NPing next, but 73 is like a questionable amount of NP to have. Because you can't get that kind of NP off of a single arts card unless you crit, right? Cool. Well, we're getting our NP for sure. I'd really like to replace, I kind of want to replace the Mystic Code I'm running right now. I think we've been off by like a few percent each time, so I'm thinking like the Babylonia Mystic Code might be better. Like replace these with the Babylonia one. But unfortunately it doesn't give, I don't think it gives NP strength, or is it just Buster? I think it's just Buster up, which doesn't synergize with Nightingale right now. Because, like, there's a few ways we could smooth out this run. Obviously, if we had a Waver, or a Helena, or a, even like an Ozymandias, we would really smooth out this run. Because Hans isn't doing too much for us. Like, he's okay, but it's not amazing. The best thing for us in this run would be a battery for both of them. Or a battery for one of them just to clean up on those odd moments where we have like 90% charge. We have a lot of those moments where we're at like 90% charge and have to stall a turn because we don't have NP for the other servant. And we're like going into turn 7, whereas like just having that extra 10% might put us at like, it might put us at like 6 turns instead of 7 turns. It obviously won't be as like effective as running a Waver or a someone who has an AoE battery. You know, Scotty would also help, although not as much as an AoE battery, really. Because if we don't have we need to get NP for both of them, right? If we only help one of them, then based on card RNG, they might not get NP. What I need to do right now is concentrate on not talking during NPs, because Nightingale's NP is actually pretty loud, and I don't know how loud my voice is in comparison to the Nightingale NP. It might be hard to hear me when she does that. Not really anything you normally have to think about when you're playing a game, but I feel like it's one of those things that's added to your mental checklist of what to do, things to do when you're playing as a streamer. I mean, I'm enjoying streaming, but it's kind of I'm growing to appreciate how much extra work it is streaming for people rather than just playing games for yourself. Like, there's a lot of things you have to take into account or consider when you're streaming that you can't do when you're just playing by yourself. Like, even something as simple as checking chat reliably takes a considerable amount of mental effort the first time you do it. You know, like, you start having to actually pay attention to that. You're like, oh, this is actually a lot of work. And I wasn't really expecting it to be as difficult as I thought it was, but I've actually, like, I've been, like, absorbed in a game and like missed out on chat messages for like up to like 5 minutes. Admittedly, I'm also not like a huge streamer, so I have less excuses because like it's really obvious when there's nothing going on. But like I really appreciate it now how attentive some streamers are. when you like post in their chat and they instantly respond, or when it takes them like 5 minutes, I can kind of sympathize with them a lot more now. Whereas previously I would have been kind of just like, you know, what's taken so damn long to get a response out to me? How is this difficult? Now I kind of understand why they're not always responding immediately, because it's a lot of work. And you have to like constantly be reminding yourself to look at chat. Oh, we actually have a few concurrents right now. And surprisingly, no regulars. That's cool. So many new faces. Do like arts, quick. I want our support to get NPs, so I'm intentionally not using that other card. 95%, we're almost there. This is what I mean about wanting to run like the Babylonia Mystic code. Or like the quick equivalent of it is really what I want to run. I don't think there's a Mystic code for quick and NP gauge up, but I'd really appreciate one of those. Okay, so this is probably our 5%. We may not actually kill what's his face here. I'm actually gonna give her bonus damage to try and make sure we kill it. They might screw up our last turn, but I want to make sure he's actually dead. I don't remember how much she does. It's like around 55k per person now. Did we get... I think we just barely got him there. Yeah, okay. Because she doesn't normally kill him, which is what I was concerned about. Now we have to be concerned about like whether or not we kill this guy. Oops. We may not kill him. So we're gonna Brave Chain with our support. Yeah, we're gonna Brave Chain here. I want to make sure he's dead, even if we don't have that 30% extra damage. I think we still got it, but this is also good for testing whether or not we needed to use that Mystic Code's damage up. Okay, the answer is yes. How close are we? 30k? I mean, we definitely have that with crits. Oh my goodness, 38 stars too, wow. Man. I'm loving Nightingale Archer. She's gotta be one of the most fun welfare servants we've had in a long time. Like, I like Shiki mechanically, and her NP damage is insane, but she's probably not the most exciting welfare I've ever seen. Like, obviously I love, you know, Kara no Kyokai is really good. But in terms of welfare, she's like probably the one I know most in terms of, I like the most in terms of fun. And Nightingale's blowing her out of the water. Like, I love the high hit counts. I love the ridiculous NP gain on that. How many hits is that quick card? Like 5? It's crazy. I'm not actually counting because I usually just look up the hit counts if it's not obvious. But it feels so good. I guess we're doing an Arts combo here. Hello, lock him. Oh man, I haven't played League of Legends in so long. I have a friend who's still into that game, but I'm like, I feel like I've moved on from it for the most part. Although they're, I don't know if that was intended for me, but I do appreciate the songs they make for League of Legends. I assume that's what you're talking about? Katie is like one of the League bands, right? I think it's KD, right? Oh yeah, it is. Oh, okay. That's cool. Did they just put up a bunch of those? Or have they been up for a while and you're just pointing them out? Kind of want NP. This might be a greedy play. Oh, 98%. I got. Damn. Yeah, I haven't actually looked to see if they make any new songs. I usually just check out the songs that Riot Games puts out like every year for their World Championship Series. I used to play League back in like Season 2 and Season 3, which feels like forever ago now. Alright, oh man, we totally get... Oh man. We got hardcore punished for that greed there, man. Oh, we got hardcore punished. I was trying to like do a best of both worlds thing. You know, wanted to have my cake and eat it too. Alright. Any particular songs they KDA came out with that are really good recently? I don't actually know if he's paying. So let's see. If YouTube videos didn't autoplay when I clicked them, I would actually look up some of them. But that is they're doing like this irritating crackdown on streaming music and stuff, and I don't know what Riot Games' opinion is on including their music on your streams. So we definitely need this damage up, or we'll be like 30k off, which isn't the worst. Like 100k NP with your only your self buffs is pretty good. Like I don't even know if this guy's foe is servant. I'm actually gonna stop for a second and try to get some more bronze apples because I don't want to spend so many silver apples. It feels really bad throwing silver apples. Give me them bronze apples. Give me the bronze apples. I need all the bronze apples. Spending, like, obviously this is less efficient because we have to do load screens, but I need those bronze apples to stop wasting my silver apples. Even if I save like 1 or 2 silver apples from the bronzes, it's better than wasting silvers when you're leveling up, because like bronzes or silvers and gold are determined by your maximum, not the game maximum. So every time I spend a gold or silver apple when I'm below like 110, 115 maximum AP, I'm really wasting like 20, 30 AP. I should actually check how many boxes we're on. I think this is 7. Yeah, we're going into box 8. Alright. Because there is like a hard limit of boxes this time, right? It's like 10. Okay. Now that we actually have some bronze apples, hopefully we don't waste as many of them. I'm just looking for bronze apples. Like, obviously I want everything else in the, Obviously I want everything else in the boxes, but because the account's pretty freaking new, like we got under-leveled characters here. Like Uriel's like only level 60, Hans is only 55. Doesn't even have his like NP or skill upgrade done yet. Which we can probably do soonish. But I'm intentionally looking for the bronze apples because... Oh yeah, have a good night, man. If you enjoyed the stream, hit me up with a follow. I stream most days. And I'll be streaming a lot more JP in the upcoming days. It's been nice hanging out with you. I mean, that's what I'm here for. Like, it's much more... I personally find it much more enjoyable to be hanging out with a whole bunch of you guys when I'm playing this game than just playing it by myself. I mean, I found that I was putting on streams in the background to have someone to hang out with and figured, you know, of all the sort of social things to do, this was probably like the one I liked best. Because it's definitely something I can do and enjoy. You know, I don't make too much content. Wow, that was massive overkill. I don't usually. I'm not really one for like making content per se, like contributing to. Thanks for the follow, my man. I hope you have a great night. Sleep. Man. At least it's the weekend. I can understand why he's staying up late. Thank you so much for the follow, Hannibal. Okay, we just need NP on Nightingale, which we'll hopefully get here. Although whether we get a kill on this guy seems seems like it's entirely up to chance. We need like that 40% crit, and we'll maybe get it. There we go. We didn't. Oh well. It was either the arts combo misses or the kill misses. But I mean, we had a chance. We had a chance, right? Since we got our NP, I'm just gonna roll off with whatever does more damage. How did we manage to get 7 viewers today? That's awesome. Yeah, back to why I started streaming. I 100% started streaming because I was like, this is something I can do that is comfortable to me. I kind of like talking to people anyway. You know, about video games specifically. Carrying on a conversation about, you know, the weather or whatever, a lot harder. Whatever game you're playing, a lot easier. So being able to do this makes me feel like I'm less of a dead weight to the community. Let's see if we can get this 30% up. I don't know if we're gonna get the kill there. I think after the stream, I'm gonna go check. If I have a few minutes before my guests arrive, I might check out what KD is putting out. Been enjoying that. That's a unique experience. Getting recommendations for people that I've never met before. May as well see what they're up to. Doing 900 damage off. Are you kidding? 900? That's like foes. Like not even all your foes. It should be like half. It should be like a third of your foes to get there. Okay. Well, in that case, sure. I assume they didn't change this, right? We can still do this. Yeah, perfect. A solid understanding of game mechanics getting us to the end. Kind of irritatingly whiffed on that 900 damage, but whatever. We're just here. We know we don't have like the best account right now, so. Yeah, okay. I was worried I'd missed the Mystic Code there for a second. One of those things where you do it so many times that it's become automatic, but sometimes you forget when you've done it. Like, not talking right now. Like, have you ever like left your house and been like, did I lock the door? Did I lock the door? I've done that a few times where I like get out of my house, you know, lock the door, get into my car, start up the car, and I'm like, did I lock the door or not? I can't remember. I've been in that situation a few times. And like sometimes I just have to go all the way back to figure out if I actually did it. I've gotten a little bit more confident about the fact that I definitively closed the door. Or like definitively locked the door, but like sometimes you just gotta go back and check because sometimes you don't really know. Because like it should be habitual for me to use my Mystic Codes attack up on Nightingale on that last wave. And anything else should require more mental energy to go around, so I shouldn't be worried about it, but I don't know. I'm not super confident in that sometimes. I think we've reached like a good equilibrium with this the levels we have invested in Nightingale and what we're getting out of the event, because it's definitely been worth it to commit this XP. If I was running a regular account where I was just looking for power, I would probably put her up to 80 right away, as she's a really solid 4-star. Just in terms of like in terms of both like mechanics and oh, I don't know what to do with this one. I think she lives. Right. Like, Nightingale has a really good skill set. The buff strip is awesome. The debuff cleanse is awesome. The attack up and crit up is good. The targetable guts is really good. The AoE ENP, I mean, it gives defense down, right? So it's not like the worst NP. All of it's really solid. The only thing I don't like about her is not having an evade. But I mean, Guts is like as close as you can get to an evade without actually having real defensive ability, and it's still okay. Like Nero has a Guts, and I love that thing. Caster Nero, that is. Regular Nero has like 3 Guts, and it's disgusting. Literally just never dies. Probably gonna get her in the SR ticket, actually. Nero Claudius. She is awesome. And also, if you did see that follow notification, she's also like one of my favorite serpents, so I might be slightly biased. Just a little bit though. I wonder what... We have a few actual viewers here. I wonder what they're doing. I kind of imagine that for Grand Order, a lot of the time, if you aren't engaging with people, you're kind of just leaving me on in the background and doing whatever. You're like probably farming in your own, you know, you're probably doing your own Christmas farm or Oni-land farm or what have you. And I'm just like the background noise, keeps you entertained, engaged, makes it feel a little bit less lonely when you're hanging out in your room or in your living room just farming. I was like, that's what I did for my first few months of playing this game when I was farming nodes, spending apples mindlessly. Just come in, join a stream, listen to whatever's going on while I play. Did that a lot in Grand Order, did that a lot in World of Warcraft, so I can totally understand what you're going through. Makes me feel good though. I got a few people in here who are at least enjoying the monologue. At least not enough to tune out. Unfortunately, for anyone viewing from like Japan, Korea, I only stream around this time on weekends, so probably won't get to see them too often. It's a little bit difficult to stream when I'm at work, right? Probably lose my job. It'd be fun for like a day, but I don't even have a mic, so I don't even have a mic at work, so that'd be pretty difficult to pull off. Yeah, we're definitely going for the arts combo here. Hard to say no to 20% arts. The NP gain on Nightingale is so high. I love it. Ooh, a second arts combo. They're spoiling me now. Yeah. I mean, I feel like the other Nightingale is still a little bit further behind, but we might get there. We got it! We got it! We're getting it in 5 turns. We're hopefully getting it in 5 turns. The only downside is this guy is gonna take a lot of damage to kill. What do we got for cards? I'm thinking we like go with RNG with Markin minus Labens for the attack up. Try to RNG that into our favor. But there are pretty good odds that doesn't happen. She hits a lot harder, so we're actually going to go with her arts card. There are good odds we don't kill this guy though. Which I know, and it's my fault, because I could level her higher. Oh, I think we missed. Was that a miss? Oh, it was a miss. Damn. Yeah, I saw that miss. Oh, shit. That gamble did not pay off. Yeah, damn. I was really hoping we would get the attack buff from Markin minus Labens. That's annoying. Alright, whatever. He's still gonna die from these attacks. It's just frustrating to waste a turn on that. It's just like, I know I could level her up to 50 and we probably wouldn't encounter that issue. But I'm trying not to invest heavily in Nightingale as we can only use Nightingale for farming and our account's base level isn't the highest right now. For those of you who only recently tuned in, as I think I only said this like 30 minutes ago, an hour ago. Although we are using whoever we want to use for farming nodes once we've cleared them, the rules for this account state that we can only use 4 and up when we've already cleared the node. 4 stars and up when we've cleared the node. And the account is relatively new, so it's missing out on a lot of Ascension materials and a lot of Ascensions for a lot of 3-star servants. Or 2-star servants or 1-star servants or whatever. My personal I mean, I'm just doing this for fun, and my personal opinion was that if you're farming, you've already proven you can clear the node, and you're really just wasting time if you're playing with, like, if you're like, I'm only going to use 2 stars for farming, you're just wasting your time, right? Like, obviously Arash is insanely good if you can use him, but same with Spartacus, but oh, damn it. I thought he was our guy for a minute there. I wish you could do this red text thing in NA. But you're actually restricted on the characters you can input in the North American version. So you can't put hex codes in your username. I think you can do it in like you can probably do it in the Korean server and the Japanese server. And most of the foreign script servers, because they probably just enabled Unicode in general for character names. But in NA, for some reason, I believe it's only ASCII. Which, I mean, I'm not sure why they did it, but they did it. Oh well, it's not the end of the world, right? Not being able to color your name. Alright, it's just a nice little customization feature. Maybe in the future they'll either give us the feature straight up as like a interface, or they'll widen the range of things you can use. Alright, what do we got? Okay. We kind of want to kill him this turn. If we don't, it's not the biggest deal. Because we usually end up wasting a turn on this guy. Either because we need NP, like here. Ah! We need 10%. Are you kidding? We need more? We screwed this one up somewhere. Somewhere along the line we screwed up. Oh well. This will be a longer one. Oh well. We done fucked up. I think that one of the best things about actually streaming is getting to interact with people all over the world. Like, as a viewer, I do a lot of lurking, but as a streamer, I'm kind of forced to engage with people. I kind of have to engage with people, and it's been fun meeting people in, you know, Central North America, Europe, couple people from Asia, like Japan and Korea now, I guess. That's cool. I don't know if they're... Oh, he said it was... Yeah, he said it was around that time. He's definitely in that time zone, if nothing else. I mean, you're not necessarily Chinese or Korean when you're... because you're using those characters in your name. It's so cool meeting people like that. Hello, DK Destin. How's your afternoon or day going? Wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having a nice Sunday. Mine's going pretty well. I mean, I just get to hang out here and farm all day, which is nice. No real responsibilities. Gonna be seeing some friends later today, which is why this stream's gotta be cut a little bit short, unfortunately. Okay, okay. That's good. Even busy days can be good, but it's nice to be able to just relax and do whatever you want to do on the weekend. Not be drowning in irritating tasks or work. Like, I think like once a month-ish, I usually have to go into work for overtime on Saturdays. That's like hella annoying. But it's not just the hours, right? It's the having to travel there and back, knowing you can't do anything during the day because you're like, oh, how long am I going to be working overtime? Oh yeah. Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, I just resumed actually using this account. I started it a couple months ago, which is why I have sit and eye on this account, but I didn't really play on the account until now. Like, I did a couple meme rolls for Castoria. I got the dumbest good roll. I mean, obviously I've seen people who get like 3 5-stars on like a 10 pull. You know, you see those posts on Reddit or whatever, and you're like, man, you fucking hate those people because they got insane luck. But relatively speaking, I had insane luck because I did like 2 10 pulls to get Castoria, which is good in the first place. And then on the first 10 pull, I got like 2 or 3 4-star servants and like a couple 5-star CEs. Like, it was crazy. And then I got Castoria on the second 10 pull after getting another 4-star. And Anastasia. It was like really good. I think I still have the screenshots for that somewhere. Yeah, I actually only started playing again on this account Friday? I like finished up with Oniland on my NA account and was just like, what do I want to do next? Well, there's not really much to do because I just need to coast on natural AP, and I mean, I'm trying to stream, and 15-minute stream, not exactly the most fun for anyone. It's not fun for me, it's not fun for you guys, because, you know, you basically just see the scream notification, you're like, oh, I'll join, and it's already over. So, decided to start up my JP account again, get playing it a bit more, so I can actually have longer playing sessions. It's like, it's especially in this season where we're doing a ton of lotteries, I can actually play for a couple hours instead of just throwing AP in the garbage and being like, yeah, I'm gonna farm feathers and fangs on the, I'm gonna farm feathers at Courthouse. I'm gonna spend like 6 golden apples on that. Like, that doesn't even make sense from a gameplay perspective, right? You're like wasting so much AP. Give me this one. Ah, damn. I didn't want to crit there. I was really hoping we would either not kill or whiff on that crit there. Alright. Okay, okay. I think we can get 80% here. I think we can get 80%. But yeah. Yeah, we basically just started the Christmas event. So we've got a bit of work ahead of us. That and the account had basically nothing on it. Like, I think our highest level servant was the 3 Max Ascension Vlad we had. And then like our next highest was like a 3-star. Like, Hans is almost the highest level on this account. Oh hey, it's a guy. How's it going, my man? Yeah, I found out my guests will be around. Interludes are at 8 p.m. Yeah, I'm gonna be busy then. Actually, right, you're like 6 hours ahead of me. You're like 5-6 hours ahead of me, I believe. That's not far off from now. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I'd be streaming today, but I'm glad I did. Okay, for you it's tomorrow at 4 a.m. Oh, okay. Is that interludes? Oh, those are the interludes for us on NA. Or on NA. Man, I saw the announcement for those interludes and was like, oh, we're getting a Penth buff? I don't remember a Penth buff. Did I forget one of these? Oh my god, this is so awesome. And then I scrolled down and it was like Penthesilla, Saints Quartz interlude. I was like, I had that like 30 seconds of hope where I was like, I'm getting a Penthesilla buffs. I'm gonna use her all the time. What's it gonna be? How did I forget about this? Oh, man. Why does DW do that to me? Just a St. Quartz interlude. Oh, they're such teases when they do that. Oh my god. You had that happen to you before? Where you're just like, oh my god, is it a buff? Is it a buff? They're getting buffed? And then you find out that's not the case. Like, you know, I didn't think there was one, but hey, if I missed it, I would have been, you know, that would have been awesome. Alas, I did in fact remember the exact number of interludes she's getting in the future. And it doesn't include one in the next couple hours. Thanks for adjusting to my time zone, man. It's not always clear. It's not always clear for me when, oh sweet. That's combo. Might be better to use... I mean, it might be better to use relative times than absolute times. Alright, so we got interludes. I have a few of those I can actually do. Although I probably won't be able to do them until Tuesday. Yeah, I probably won't have time to do them until Tuesday. I'd probably want to stream the interludes, read all the content, and that's definitely something I can stream. It's not something I can instantly do in 5 minutes when my guests aren't looking, right? Heck is with... That's weird. The Twitch stream manager thing you get as a streamer. The top bit of it is cut off. It's really weird. I've never seen this before. I refreshed the page and everything. Alright. Well, this isn't going stellarly. Oh, I guess we'll just pray we get punched in the face. Perfect. Sometimes certain servants just have a very punchable face. I think that's what that homunculus thought. He's like, man, Nightingale, she looks like a person I want to punch. He looks, oh, wait, don't do that. That would have been a mistake. Man, still love the sound effects of this gun. I know they're like pretty generic, but it still sounds nice in context. Nice and satisfying sound design. Doesn't take complicated or original sounds. It just takes sounds that match what's going on. And in gameplay, it just needs to also usually have an impact relative to the sound. Like if you have a shotgun that sounds like an absolute monster and then does like 2 damage, it's like the least satisfying weapon in the world to shoot. Or if the enemies are exceptionally bullet spongy, that also works. But here we got really high damage from this gun, and it sounds like it should be doing a lot of damage. Like the hit count's high, and it sounds like it should be hitting high. A lot of hits. Obviously you're not hitting once for every bullet, because in this game that would be unreasonable, but you're hitting a lot, which means it still feels good. If it was like, you have this stream of bullets and you hit once, I feel like that's kind of unsatisfying, like, unless you're playing like one of those, a more realistic or game like, I know XCOM isn't super realistic, but like, when you're playing XCOM, and your guy like hits once with an assault rifle, because they always only hit, because A, they always only hit once, and B, you know, it's ostensibly like you're in a firefight and you're trying to hit someone who's behind cover and you're probably not going to hit them more than once. I feel like that's okay. But then I also find it irritating when, like, you're at point blank range, you fire, and you do one hit, because if you hose someone with bullets point blank, I feel like they should take more than one hit, but that would make XCOM, like, super lethal. Even more lethal than it already is. Delicious, delicious arts combos. I think they're still better for us than doing like arts quick. Although Nightingale, like Okita, has like an absolutely ridiculous NP gain on her quick cards. It's like, I don't think we're... There's no quick up on this. There's quick up on this and NP gain up. So that makes sense. I didn't think there was... Oh, there is 20%. This is either NP... This is NP gain 20%. I guess this might just be the cards influencing how much I think. Oh well. It feels like a lot though. Yeah, I'll definitely I'm gonna... What I think I'll do, because I'll definitely have time today or tomorrow to do that, is I'll check which interludes are coming out and what the requirements are for the interludes. And then if I can do them, I'll do them. Let's not do Laban's, because it does way more damage if we get RNG damage. I'll check which interludes I can do. Yeah, the first one is... Yeah, the quick and... Yeah, the one we have is the NP gauge start, which is kind of nice. I'll check which interludes. Yeah, max ascension, bond 5. Okay, so like the standard requirements for interludes. I'll check which servants I actually have there. Maybe swap a couple out on my farming team to see if we can get, like, you know, from 4 to 5 or something. Because I obviously have Penth bond 5. I don't remember any of the other servants if I have them bond 5. But I should probably take a look at that and see what I got. All our servants are actually good on damage, so it's just gonna be killing this guy. Hey, you only have Mabe? That's fair. I know I don't have Mabe. So we won't be seeing her interlude. Okay, we want damage because we know for a fact that we can't kill this guy as since you remember our you probably remember our Gios for this account. You know why I'm keeping her at 45 instead of putting her to 80. We still can't kill these guys. The guy on the left from full health. We actually need to do some damage to him. We do about 55, 60k, everyone? Yeah, does her charm previously only charm males? Yeah, I was figuring that would happen. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad she's getting something. Mabe's not like the most popular 5-star, and her mechanics are not the strongest. She has that double charisma for men, and that's about it. That's like all people care about for her. She's kind of like a generic 5-star. So her getting buffs makes a lot of sense to me. As not only is she not popular mechanically, but she's also not a popular character, so giving her something, some reason for people to take her, other than the occasional gimmick where you're trying to like OTK people, is pretty good. Actually, does she have an anti-male NP? Let me check. I actually have Mabe still open. Yeah, she does overcharge for male. Why do people not use her more for male bosses then? You'd think she'd, cause she has damage against, right? It's 150 at rank 1, which is currently available. She does 150% extra special attack damage to men. That's not like a bad overcharge. Like, that's not a bad... That's actually like a really good overcharge effect. Like, think about the zeros... I mean, relatively speaking, like, Uriel has 0 survivability. Well, a similar amount of survivability. Probably higher, I guess, because she actually charms men, right? She charms on NP. Yeah, Uriel charges... Uriel does charge down, but other than that, they both have charm, and Uriel's charm on NP. I guess it's like you have higher standards for a 5-star than you have for a 2-star, right? Or 3-star? Is their charm like... I mean, Uriel's charm isn't amazing either. 80%. Uriel's charm is... Hold up, I'll just bring this up over here. Why not? Uriel's charm is pretty low odds too, right? It's like... no capture. Uriel's charm for a regular... Oh, it actually goes... Yeah, her charm's actually better. Wait, what? Goes up to 80? Goes up to 100%? Uriel actually has a better charm? I mean, the defense down means she does a lot more damage, but you actually have to get that off. And, I mean, it's theoretically possible to resist it. But, like, her NP damage is pretty solid. 800 and 150% damage. Bonus damage. Like, she has the damage. She has Golden Rule, which gives you 10% gauge every turn, which is... I mean, it's not the fastest, but 30% get... 30% NP gain is 30% NP gain, right? Like, she's definitely got... And then she's got double charisma for men, right? She has the damage, I think. But you're right, it's probably just the survivability. If she had charm on the NP, like, instead of this mental debuff resist, she had charm for men, like Uriel has, I feel like she would be doing a lot better. Because, like, Uriel has charm chance of 100% on NP. Which means she, on the turn she NPs, she can save herself from taking damage or dying. Which gives her better odds of using it again. I didn't actually realize that she had a better charm, though. That's kind of funny. Because her charm goes all the way up to 100%. I might actually... I mean, most bosses now in, like, the Lost Belts have, like, mental debuff resistance or immunity, and she's usually fighting sabers, which have it in general anyway, but... I was not aware Mabe's charm was actually that bad. Like, how are you supposed to work with a charm that's like 50%? It's so bad. Alright, back to Nox. Oh. Oh, you said 60% now, did you? Just checking back right now before I actually resume playing. Her unupgraded version of her charm still goes to 80%. Yeah, they basically killed charm spam because it made it like completely trivialized so many bosses. Because you could just be like, I take Steno Uriel that are 10-10-10 and just like charm lock anyone who's not resistant to anti-mail charm. I guess you maybe don't need Mabe because you still have like a strong boss killer that's general purpose in like Ushiwakamaru, and Ozymandias just does so much even though he has no survivability. Like, most of the riders don't actually have great survivability. Like, when people look for single turret riders, they're like Quetz or Ozzy instead of Mabe. But Mabe doesn't, like, none of those guys have a ton of survivability. Yeah, Ushi pulls out crazy damage for single target. But I'm saying, like, if you pull out Mabe on a guy, she's gonna do so much damage. But Ushi has the evade, right? Ushi has the evade, but like, in terms of pure damage, most of the 5-star riders don't have a lot of survivability, and most of the 5-star riders are just like damage, just load up on damage with like occasional support abilities. So I'm kind of surprised she isn't mentioned more often. I feel like you could really get some work out of her. I'm tempted to do an arts combo here with our support. 73. I'm gonna do this. This might be a mistake. We'll see. That was basically an arts combo anyway. Quick. Yeah, Ushi pulls out like crazy single target damage with like NP5. With like NP5. Were you there when we were pulling out like yeah, I was art starting with arts. I wasn't quite sure what gains more, because I know you get a lot with overkill. Now we actually want to do like or here, because we actually want to push like 20k-ish out. I think I'm gonna do like Buster Arts with the support Nightingale. I think that'll get us the 7% we need, because her arts generates a ton, right? Of course, it crits. Well, double plus half of that would have been enough, because we needed 7 and we got 9. We got 20. We got 20%. So I was saying we needed 7 because 99 is equal to 100 in this, or no. Then we got 19, my bad. Because 99 is equal to 100 in this game. Weird mechanic, but you know, I'm not gonna question that. It's a very graceful way of making things less frustrating. If you wonderful viewers were not aware, you cannot actually hit 99% NP gauge. If you would ever hit 99%, it always puts you to 100. And this wonderful little change. Oh, that's true. I mean, I don't know if everyone watching knows that. You probably know it. You might know it. But it is a fun little fact. Like, the first time you find out, you're like, oh, that's interesting. Like, it might be obvious if you have, like, a waiver where you're always giving flat 50% to someone, and then that one time you're at 49%, you go to 100, you're like, oh. But yeah, I don't think it's as obvious if yes, if she gives NP gain up. If she gives NP gain up, but her NP gain is atrocious by itself. It helps other people, which is really good. Yeah, I'm leveling the NP gain up first, because she really needs it to fix herself. Ours first, because she starts with her. Yeah, the NP gain is insanely useful. It'll sometimes just push you far enough to actually get those numbers. I was noticing that on a couple of the encounters recently. I don't think you were in stream for that, because that was like the first couple of the Christmas. Oh, maybe you were in that. It was like the first or second Christmas encounter where I like the NP gain literally put me to 100% on Ushi. Like, it's a great ability. Okay. I guess we do support combo here. Support Brave Chain, let's go. Dude, Double Buster. That is a bad deck. Maybe with Double Buster. Ugh. Yeah, I don't like that. I also don't like this. 86%. I think we can get that with like arts. If we get 2 arts cards. I think the one downside is I do not believe we will kill this guy. Yeah, 1 quick? What the heck? Is there NP Buster as well? Yeah, Ushi is 2 arts, 2 quicks, as I recall. And then her quick NP is also a thing. Mabe is Buster NP? Ew. Yeah, her riding A is basically wasted on one whole quick card. Ew. I didn't notice that. I didn't look at her deck. Her NP gain isn't terrible, but that... yeah. There's a lot of there's not a lot of great synergy in her kit other than the charm. Like the charm and the Buster Noble Phantasm are like have like the most synergy. There aren't any males that crush on males. There aren't any males that are good against males. Like, so having increased attack for males just makes it a weak charisma. But I mean, it also restores your health, so it's not the worst thing. But again, if you're using a boss killer, you kind of want heart evades. Heart evades are where it's at for boss killers. I mean, the health is there and it's good, and it'll save you from like getting worn down by attacks, but it's not gonna save you from a billion damage. We actually have to end this soon. I actually need to check my phone real quick to know. Okay. I actually have to end the stream. Yeah, it does. It only helps her. Her skills are relatively selfish. Alright, we're actually gonna have to end the stream shortly, as my guests will be here slightly sooner than they anticipated. They're driving in from out of town, so it's not the most unusual thing. Yeah, made to be a tank. With what? She has like nothing going for tanking. You know what the #1 thing you need to tank properly is? Taunt. If you don't have a taunt, you're not a good tank. I had that problem with Dion while I was leveling him. I was like, what the fuck is this servant? Like, he's the first 4-star I got, right, Dion? And I was like, how is this servant so garbage? All he has is an evade and a debuff cleanse. This is completely useless. You have to get him to like level 80 to have a taunt. Or like level 70 to have a taunt. It's ridiculous. Yeah, like the most important thing for an actual tanking servant is either taunt or a way to defend your teammates. Like, Mash is an okay taunt. Or Mash is okay even if she doesn't have her taunt because she has damage reduction, right? Like, she gives your whole party like a ton of reduced damage, especially if you have like the improved snowflakes. Yeah. Yes, I did. I didn't know about re-rolling because this was like one of the first gacha games I tried. All right. Yeah, I actually have to end the stream because I have my guests arriving in like 5-10 minutes. They just texted me actually. I'm glad they sent me a message. Yeah. That's one sec. At the park in the guest. Yes. Yeah. I mean, Dion's not bad. He's actually like an okay tank. But the issue is you have to actually get him to his 3rd skill before he's any good, even remotely usable. And then, as a tank, Georges is still better. I don't have Dion on this account. Because, like, St. George, if we just pop over to St. George, who we actually have on this account. I swear I'm leaving in 5 minutes. Alright. Wherever George is. Oh, there he is. I was gonna filter, but he's actually right here. If we go look at him. First thing he has in his first skill. This is how you make a tank. Taunt. First skill. You instantly know what this guy is because he has a 3-turn taunt. This taunt is also just a good skill because it also boosts his defense. So when you invest in it, You're making him harder to kill. He's getting the taunt cooldown's reduced. It's just all good. Like, even his first skill completely defines him. Then his other two skills support his role as a tank, where he's got a healing skill that gives him mental debuff resist. Mental debuff resist is not traditionally an important thing, but it's still useful because mental debuff resist means you won't get stunned. So this helps him not only by healing him, making him last longer. The mental debuff resist means he can't be stunned. So if you want to use his gut skill without immediately popping it with his taunt, it's like amazing. Or if you're planning on, you know, using the taunt a turn later and you might get stunned. I mean, it's not going to happen all that often, but it might happen and it might save you a shot. Yeah, he has defense mode. Then we have Guts, and Guts obviously means he's guaranteed to survive a turn. The only thing he's missing here from his kit is like an invuln. But I mean, he has defense. Where if we look at Dion, who I will have to actually bring up in a second, so we'll just bring out our Maeve page. Where are we? OBS, please change. Okay. Whereas if we bring up like Chevalier Dion, he has anti-synergy in his own kit that doesn't make any sense. So first of all, his first skill is his evade, and his second skill is a cleanse. Here's his taunt down at his unlock after third ascension, right? But it's like heal? This is the first skill you use. So you're going to use this turn 1 or turn 2, and it's a heal. Like, you're not going to have taken damage, so why is the heal on this skill? What the heck? Then you go over here and you're like, evade, evade's here. I don't want to be evading the first turn. I want to be evading on the enemy's NP turn so I don't die. Why is the defense on this? Like, they completely screwed that up. And then obviously you have like self-suggestion, which is remove debuffs, except you can't remove stun, so you can't remove your own stun so that you can evade to avoid dying. So it's so irritating. I find him a very frustratingly designed servant. He's clearly designed with the same concepts in mind as Georgius, but they like screwed up what secondary effects were on each skill and what the order you unlocked them in is. Because it should have been beautiful appearance, mind's eye, self-suggestion, or beautiful appearance, self-suggestion, mind's eye. It's the wrong order. The secondaries, the defense up and the heal, are on the wrong secondary, or on the wrong effects. Like, it's just like they really screwed up what they were doing when they designed the servant. And then he also has like this mediocre NP that doesn't impress anyone. It's okay for saving you, but this charm chance is like, okay, NP1, 10%. This is post upgrade, right? Pre-upgrade, his charm chance is even lower. Just look at this. An NP, 10% defense down, 10% attack down. Like, are you kidding? For reference, Waver's defense down is 30%. Then he also has a higher stun chance at, I believe, 40%. Then he also applies Curse and also Charge Drain. And the Charge Drain's 100% chance. And this is like 10% of each. Basically inconsequential until you're like NP5 Dion. And then the charm chance is only 30% after it's upgraded. And like 30% isn't anything you can rely on literally ever. And enemies are increasingly immune to charm anyway. So it's basically useless. Like, you can't rely on the charm. The attack and defense down are almost completely meaningless. And like, for reference, there's his unupgraded version. 10% charm chance. Like, what? 10%? What? Why? Congratulations. Congratulations. At NP4, with his upgrade, he's almost as good as Waver. I guess the attack down's okay, but it's a really weird NP that's not very impressive at any point. Like, if the charm chance was really high or something, I would see using it. I could see using it. Like, starting at 50% of the thing would be okay, but it's not an impressive NP, which doesn't help him. Like, Georgios' NP doesn't do a ton of damage because he's a 2-star, but you can still sometimes pull out okay damage, and again, he has that weird... Georgios has that dragon synergy, right? Like, Georgios... I really need to go. Okay. Georgios has that Ascalon apply dragon trait, right? So even though his... Okay, first of all, makes him a better tank. Instantly better by 20%. It's better for tanking than Dion's. Then it applies the dragon trait, which has synergy for like 2 other servants, right? Like Siegfried has the anti-dragon stuff. So even if he doesn't do a shit ton of damage, the fact that he applies trait dragon might make him useful with other servants. Anyway. I really have to be going. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I'll see you guys Tuesday. It's been great fun. Is there someone else? Actually, let's check real quick if there's someone I know streaming Grand Order. Wow, it's surprisingly empty in Grand Order. Alright. Well, those of you watching who aren't following me, hit me up with a follow. And otherwise, I will see you around in the next stream.